इतना सा फर्क है कुछ होने में और बहुत कुछ होने में। इतना सा फर्क है एक बार सोच के छोड़ देने में और लग के कर दिखाने में। मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में कि अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी ये एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और 7वें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा है। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया, 20 years of ideas.
Good morning, friends, and welcome to a Sunday morning webinar with Franchise India. I am Gaurav, Marya, Chairman of Franchise India Group. My apologies for starting the webinar for a few minutes delayed because there was some technical error in the Zoom. So friends, this is going to be about 25 to 30 minute webinar. We have called the series Successpreneur. Successpreneur was the series we started because a lot of investors, people who want to invest into a new business, come to Franchise India and they are confused. And they're confused on the opportunity they should choose, why they should choose that opportunity, what they can expect from that opportunity. And just to tell you, for last 24 years, Franchise India has been servicing investors who are looking to start a business. We are the only start your own business platform. Rather, we are today a fully integrated 1,200 people company servicing about 95 cities in India, a company which helps you make the right investment decision, also to help you scale the business, and finally to help you exit the business if you want to do that. All three services are available within Franchise India. We are very proud that we are not only serviced entrepreneurs in India, but we serve in now 6 countries, and we are globally the largest franchise solution company. So friends, we started this Successpreneur because we felt that a lot of people are confused and they need a help in terms of when they're choosing the right business. And I've seen people who are even with experience and diversifying to a new opportunity find it very, very difficult, especially in this challenging environment. And challenging is not just because we passed through COVID or there's a world recession going on or there's supply chain disruption going on and a lot of other things. Challenging because the businesses are like that. It's a times of innovation. Everything which is looking very relevant today is not looking relevant tomorrow. So in these difficult times of decision making, how do you really choose the right opportunity? So what are we going to cover? I'm going to cover about 10 different points, which I advise any entrepreneur come to me, and especially for people who are starting the business first time. When you're starting business first time, it's become even more challenging. Even more challenging because you don't have any experience, background, or domain, anything which can help you to really make that decision. So it becomes even more critical to take that decision. And I feel that people normally would take decisions by either following somebody, which means that you follow your friends or a family, or you just go out and take an impulsive decision on things which looks good to you, right? Sometimes that's looking good to you because it might not be right for you, both from your own abilities and also what you want from that business. So people feel disappointed when they invest into businesses like that. I've seen entrepreneurs who start a business in 3 to 4 months, they are not interested in that business because they feel that this was not right for them or this was something they don't want to do. And that's how a lot of startups, if you really see, fail. We always celebrate startups which become unicorn, but we don't really talk about millions and millions of people who really fail in their businesses, and why they fail and why they're not able to really make a success out of that, why every business doesn't see a unicorn status, why businesses don't go to the next level. All these we want to be discussing. But let's start with these 10 points, which are very important. If you are looking to start a business, these are the 10 points I would say has to be done in order. The first point is really the mindset. This is where the real problem lies. If I were to really see the success of any entrepreneur, 60% lies on the mindset he has or carries. It's very, very important. Are you really cut out to be an entrepreneur? That's the first question you need to ask yourself honestly, because entrepreneur journey is not easy. It's a very, very tough journey. And that's why it gives you the maximum. It is the toughest journey, and it gives the maximum life goals you can achieve as an entrepreneur. And if you want to be really entrepreneur, you need to really set your mindset. And if your mindset is not ready, you will not be able to take that journey ahead. And mindset is very important, and it starts with setting the date. So a lot of people come to me and I ask them to say, do you have a date in mind where you want to really start this journey of your entrepreneur journey? And they are confused. They don't have that. They will just say answer like, oh, look, if I get an opportunity, good opportunity, I can start tomorrow, but I'm not too sure about the opportunity. The problem is that you're not even sure about your journey. So let me start with asking this question to the audience here. A lot of people have joined in. I encourage you to go and Q&A box and give me this answer very honestly. And because you're putting your valuable time on this webinar, and you need to be damn honest about yourself. Give me an answer on a Q&A box. Do you have a date in mind when you want to start your new business? You all joined Sunday morning. You're missing your family time. You're coming to this webinar. Do you have a date in mind when you want to start a business? And if you don't have the date, the problem lies there, because you are not even firm what you want to do. Give me an answer. Anybody, anyone can really go out. Somebody's raising hand. You can use the Q&A box and give me an answer. Give me an answer, honest answer. Anybody. You can say, I have 2 months from now, 3 months from now, 4 months from now, 1 year from now. Any date can come in mind, but give me an answer. I want to really hear from anybody who's firm on starting a business on a particular date. Now, this is a real problem. This is a real problem. So many people have joined in. I can see on the participant list. Then there is somebody who's come and said, I want to start on March 23. Shamir has said that. Congratulations, Shamir. And Uday has said, I would like to start in Navratras. Fantastic, Uday. This is what answer I really look at. And I should congratulate Uday because he's very firm. Shamsir is very firm. They want to really start because they are people who have that mindset ready. Rest, everybody is just exploring. And they keep exploring an entrepreneurial journey, but they're not very firm. So if you really want to start your entrepreneurial journey, first get your date. I'll further define this date. D stands for discipline. You need to become, from today itself, extremely disciplined towards your journey. A stands for accountability. You need to put yourself on accountable and also put accountability around you. All the stakeholders are going to be. T stands for training. You need to train yourself as an entrepreneur. That's very, very important. We are not trained to be an entrepreneur. Rather, Prime Minister also said in one of the statements, he says, we are trained or educated for doing a job or job work, as I call it, right? So we are not trained to be an entrepreneur. We're not given creativity. We're not given problem solving. We're not giving multitasking. All this has not been given. And these are skills which an entrepreneur needs. So if you're not trained to be an entrepreneur, you need to do that. And finally, E stands for education and encouragement. You need to educate yourself and encourage yourself. Few more feedbacks. CS says, I want to start on 15th August. So you're just there. It's probably 1 month for you to start a business. Vamshi Krishna also wants to start his business in next week. Next month, first week. So he wants to do first week of August. So congratulations for 4 of you. And others also be interactive, write on the Q&A box, ask your questions. So if you want to really start your entrepreneur journey, and I've been encouraging a lot of entrepreneurs to really come out and take their call. And if you really want to do this, start with this date. Take out a new diary, write your date and say, this is my date when I want to really do that. And if the date even moves, doesn't matter. But at least you're chasing a goal. That's very, very important. So when you're setting your mindset, first set your date. The second thing which you need to set is your life goal. Another thing which is very important when entrepreneurs come to me and I ask, what do you want to make out of that? My second question to all of you, let's see who answers that. If you want to start your business, what is your expectation from a business? And let's go on a monetary terms. You can say, I want to make 2 lakhs. I want to make 5 lakhs. I want to do 5 crores. what is your expectation from the business and why it is the number is coming like that? Anybody can give me an answer. Use the Q&A box. Let's make it very interactive. I see a lot of people now on the webinar. Give me an answer. What kind of, if you want to start your entrepreneur journey, what is your expectation from the journey? What is the number comes to your mind? It can be any number. And I'll tell you, professionals always look at replacement number. So they are getting in salary 2 lakh rupees. They always think that I can make 2.5 lakh rupees, I can get into business. They're always replacing their current lifestyle. When other entrepreneurs start, they have smaller goals. If you're young, you have smaller goals. You want to really make some, like somebody says, Ishan Chawla says, I want to start 50,000 to 1 lakh rupee per month. So he might have calculated his current lifestyle, and current lifestyle, he would have said, look, my EMIs is this much, or I want to buy this, or whatever that is. And he's just come at this number. That's how a lot of people do. And this is a mistake. Businesses you are running for next 20 years, 30 years, unless and if you define your life goals for the next 20 years, what are the major events coming in your life? How your business is going to support your life journey? This would not work, right? So, and businesses you don't want to change. So if your goals are very clear over the next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, depending on how far you can see, then you can set those goals with your business. Otherwise, you will always look at an immediate opportunity, and that would not be the best thing to do that. So it's very, very important that when you're doing the business, first understand your mindset, second, set your life goals. Third, you need to really see your risk appetite. What is your risk appetite? How much risk you can really take? And especially, I know a lot of professionals, when they come out of a job and they start the business, they are not ready. They are not ready because their risk appetite is very, very low. They have expenses running. They have a lot of expenses for their family. The kids are in school and a lot of things going on in their mind. So they are very poor on their risk structuring. So they don't have even a window of 3 to 4 months. They quickly go back to job back if their business doesn't take off that fast. So you need to really see where are you at the risk parameter. I call the risk grid. And are you on a very low? That doesn't mean that you cannot start a business. You can, but then you have to choose a business which is in the low risk kind of a situation. Are you in a mid risk or are you in a high risk structure? Imagine you're in a high risk, you're in a high reward. So it's directly proportionate to what are we trying to do. And also sometimes there are low risk businesses, but they have a high gestation cycles. It might be education. Education is a very low risk business, but sometimes can take its time to come down to that. Healthcare, similar low risk business, but a higher gestation cycle. It can take 1.5 year, 2 year for you to really come off that. So when we work with our clients, we really see where they're coming from. What is the next 6 months for them? How much money they carry? What kind of working capital they have? All that is very, very important. So 3 things we have discussed since the webinar has started. One, we've discussed really your mindset. That's very, very important. Second, your life goals. And third is your risk appetite. And fourth is the resources which you can bring to your business. And you have to be damn honest about it. What are the resources? Your time, your family's time, the capital you want to deploy, the other resources. You might have a property or some strategic location. What are the resources available with you to deploy in business? So this is not even getting to even choose what you want to do. It's actually setting you right that what kind of a business, before you choose the business, you are setting yourself right from a mindset, from your resources planning, understanding your life goals and your risk appetite. So these 4 blocks really are the important milestones for setting you right on your entrepreneurial path. That's a point number 1. The point number 2 is, let me see some more feedbacks. So there are a lot of feedbacks coming in. One ROI in 4 months, input amount is 5 lakh rupees. Somebody wants to just put 5 lakh rupees and wants his ROI, return on investment, in 4 months. Now, this is very unrealistic, so this is something a lot of people expect. There are very few businesses you can do in 5 lakhs. It's a very small capex, and expecting it to pay back in just 4 months, which means that it cannot be just return on investment. It has to be something to do with your skills. If your skills are like consulting businesses or any kind of professional service businesses, you can get that return because you're bringing a lot of skills. I call the different ROI. This ROI is return on intelligence and return on involvement. If you're involved, you're working doing a job in your own business, you can take that kind of money. Say you become a consulting franchise or a HR planning franchise or a coaching franchise or a professional placement franchise. any kind of counseling franchise, then you're bringing a lot of skills. It's not about the capital investment. It's your own time you're putting in. Then you can get that return. Otherwise, if you conventional businesses, you put that kind of money, it will not going to give you ROI in 4 months. So be very, very particular. Some Vimal Vamsi says, I want to make crores and I want to buy a franchise with a good brand and a good structure. Somebody says, I want to do in the food business. Food is very tricky. A lot of people get into food because they're passionate about it. Now, this is another mistake people do when they choose businesses. They choose passion over purpose. Rather, it should be other way around. It should be purpose over passion, right? So if you are sometimes choosing a business just because you like that business, you always wanted to own a F&B cafe or a bar or something like that because you always wanted to be, not necessarily you want to be successful, because there's very complex businesses and it takes a lot of effort for you. And I know a lot of disappointment happen when people start businesses just for passion. If you start for purpose, purpose is what you want to do for my business. You have goals which you want to do for your family. You want to support your family. You want to grow yourself. You want to really make future investments, secure yourself, wealth creation. These are the larger purposes you have. And see, your business is going to cover that. And if this is not going to cover that, then maybe not. And sometimes you just don't bring your passion over your purpose. Stay with purpose and later follow the passion comes in, right? So that's very, very important. People make a lot of money so that they can pursue their passion. So that's the journey which everybody should do. So now we come down to the point number 2, how to choose the right opportunity. What is an opportunity one should really choose? Again, 4 dots we will connect. 1 is the industry. Before you even choose the brand, you need to really talk about the industry. Why are you choosing that industry? What is the advantage you bring in that industry? What is this industry going to do over the next 4 or 5 years? What is the major disruption coming in the industry? Some disruptions you can see, some you cannot see. What is the big thing which is happening? Like food. The disruption happened about 10 years back when Zomato, Swiggy really started. So business moved from not just retail, it became big time delivery. Direct to home became a serious opportunity. But this was not only happening in food, it was happening in fashion. It was happening almost everything you consume. Direct to home was becoming a huge, huge opportunity. Now we call the quick commerce. Quick commerce has become a very serious. So it's disrupting a lot of businesses. So when you're choosing the industry, you need to see the future of that industry, future disruptions, innovation, key players, what is all happening in that industry. That's very, very important. Once you have chosen the right industry, maybe chosen 4 or 5, which looks strategic to you, then you go to the second thing is make a decision of what opportunity or brand you want to choose, especially if you're buying a franchise. If you're buying a franchise, you need to really choose what kind of brand you're shortlisting and why that brand over its competition. So today, if you want to get into eyewear industry, you have many choices. You can go with classic brands like Himalaya Opticals, or you can go with a future end coming funded company like Lenskart. Why you choose Lenskart over Himalaya? Why you not choose a bigger company like Titan, which is giving you eye plus? Or you can go with maybe smaller startups. So you have many choices to make that decision. And why you want to make that decision has to be very, very carefully. Sometimes it's over competitive market. Sometimes the company has given too many franchises in the same region where you are not able to get your best results. So sometimes you choose a brand which can give you that freedom and that space that you can build a larger business in a geographical area. Sometimes the brand itself make it too crowded. And then they are around so many businesses around which become your internal competition. So you need to really choose what opportunity or industry and the brand you're choosing. Then you need to really match that back with your life goals and say, next 5 years, is this opportunity and the brand can give me that kind of expectation I have? And the 4th is understanding your micro market. Now, sometimes we just see the macro picture and we don't understand. If I was to do business in Agra, I need to understand what is Agra all about and which location in Agra would make this business sense, right? So it's very important. Like yesterday, a client came to me, I was in Bombay, and experienced professionals, they came to me and they said, I want to start a business in Goa. Now, everybody wants to go to Goa. Goa is become India, Monaco, or places where people just, even the rich are moving there. Everybody's moving there. So it's a very competitive market. And almost everybody wants to do F&B going to Goa. And I've seen so much of competition in that market that people are not able to survive. So if you go into a market like Goa, which is now a serious market and serious consumption, what opportunities you want to do that. And after thinking, I told them to do beauty clinics. I told them to do work on pharma. Pharma is a big opportunity there, or anything to do with healthcare, because it's a market which has under-penetration of healthcare. It also has under-penetration of education, but education is regulated there. Government doesn't allow you. So you have to really see a lot of opportunities which can come, and what is the local situation from administration viewpoint, from a infrastructure viewpoint, from a consumption viewpoint. So all this has to be linked in your micro market. Then only you can decide what opportunity is right. So second point is how to really choose the right opportunity, industry, brand, your financial goal, and the micro market. Connect 4 dots again. 4 dots, if you are able to connect, then you will be able to choose the right opportunity. Third point, how you fund your business. Now, this is a very, very tricky topic. This is point number 3. And I feel that most of the times, entrepreneurs don't really plan their finance well. So they get into business, but they're not too sure how much investment is required to run the business. So it's very important that when you are funding your business, you follow this rule of what I call 60-40. Now, 60-40 is a very important rule. And why I say that I can tell you of statistics which is very shocking. 70% of all businesses which fail don't fail because of entrepreneurs' hard work, don't fail because the idea was not good, don't fail because the competition was too high or marketing or any other reasons. They fail because it is undercapitalized. Now, it's a very shocking fact. People blame it on other reasons. They blame it on because I didn't do enough marketing, I had too much of competition, I have people issue, I was not able to hire right people. They give you all these other answers. But the real answer is the business was not adequately capitalized. And that's why these large companies find success, because they capitalize businesses right. They put the right kind of a framework for that business. So when you're starting your business, always follow this rule of what I call 60-40. 60% is your capital deployment, your CapEx, and 40% is kept for that business OpEx to run the gestation cycle. Sometimes gestation cycles are long cycles. Like, for example, you start a school. Now, school can take 6 to 7 years to come down to what I call optimum performance. It can take 10 years to reach your peak performance levels. So it's a very, very long journey, but the schools are for life. If you start a school now, next 50 years, it's going to last. So opportunities like these sometimes come with a very high gestation cycles. So if you're not capitalized to continue to reinvest for the first 5-7 years in that business, you'll not be able to make a meaningful impact. So you need to really understand what kind of opportunities you want to do. Like somebody said, Barinder Singh has said, I am from Ludhiana. So he has to understand what opportunities he can bring to Ludhiana and what kind of financial investment planning he has to do on that. 60-40, that's also very, very important. That's a point number 3. Fourth point, which is also a big debate. And I see a lot of people coming to me and asking this question. And they say, what should I do? I should buy a franchise or I should do a startup? Now, this is a good question. A good question because you want to always build your own brand. And that's why you want to choose a startup, but you have no experience. You have no experience. Then I will say, go with a franchise. And that's why franchising has become a $4.5 trillion industry. Out of every 10 startups which happen, 8 choose to do franchise and only 2 go with their own brand. Why they do it? Because they want to go with somebody, some kind of a business which is already established. And especially if you've not done business, I think this is your school to entrepreneurship. You get some education. And I've seen a lot of successful entrepreneurs who started their own brands later. The biggest competition to KFC was a franchisee of KFC. The biggest competition to McDonald's was actually McDonald's franchisee sometime. So if you really see, people have really ridden on some success story, some kind of a proven business model, learn the tricks, and then gone out at this later stage to create their own business or evolve from there, which is not bad. All the competitive brands actually at one point in time got their learning from someplace. And that's how opportunities flow. So really ask yourself, should you be ready to take the plunge directly, going with your own brand and doing your own startup? Are you convinced on that opportunity? Or you want to really start with a franchise first and set it up and maybe continue to do more franchisees and then subsequently at a certain stage, maybe start your own entrepreneur journey? That's a very important question, but you should be damn honest about your current capabilities. If you feel that you can go all by alone, then maybe startup is a great opportunity. But if you feel that you need some support, you need some guidance, then maybe franchise would be the right opportunity to do that. Now, once you have made that decision, you've chosen the opportunity, just don't jump into the business model. Write your business plan and financial plan. This is another mistake entrepreneurs do because they don't really prepare themselves. They don't prepare themselves. They don't write their business plan. They don't define their business. They don't understand resources required. So the team required, what kind of team you need, what kind of organizational structure you need, KPIs, what kind of milestones you want to set for yourself, and financial plan. That's also very important. Draw the financial plan. But if you've done this, you're still not too sure they're right. Go to industry experts. Come to even Franchise India, use our services and ask a validation for it. Because you don't for yourself, but you don't have ability to validate your business and financial plan. So you have to come to somebody specialist, maybe hire a business coach. Go to a business coach and say, I want to validate my business and a financial plan. And I want to really see how it really works. Friends, I see a lot of comments coming in. I will take up all the questions, and others can also start going in questions, or any point you want to make me more clarify. Please do use the Q&A box, and I will cover all your points which are written there. And any particular question which comes to your mind in terms of a particular brand, opportunity, ROI, some feedback, some industry feedback, just write on the Q&A box, and I'll be happy to take up. If you have a real estate and you want my advice on what should you do on that real estate, that also you can write. So let's get on to sixth point. Sixth point is resource planning. How do you plan your resources? What kind of resources you need to do? And when you are planning resources, first one question you need to ask yourself, are you a great operator, or you need somebody else to operate for you? Now, this is a very sensitive, important question. Very important question. I see people with great ideas, hardworking, but they might not be great operators. Sometimes they are impulsive, sometimes they don't gel with people well, and they have some personality issues, and they have to be honest about it. You need to really see your own skills and your own ability to attract talent around you, manage the talent, and so on and so forth. And if you're not a great operator, admit it. Admit that fact that you're not the great operator, and find somebody who can be either a co-founder with you, who can help you operate that business, or somebody within your family who you can bring along. Like I see great husband-wife teams today run successful entrepreneur programs because they both have different skills. And like we're advising one school, and husband-wife is a great team. Wife is actually very academically advanced. She contributes a lot in academics. The husband is really working on the finance and the business model, a lot of marketing capabilities, and so on and so forth. So they complement their operational responsibilities because there's so much to do when you run even a small business. A small business also has many functions, from marketing, from sales to daily management, finance, a lot of other things. So if you are not somebody who can handle all of that, and you need people with you, either you have to find a co-founder, or you need to have somebody along with you. It can be a friend, it can be family, it can be anybody, or you can even elevate some of your employees, which you want to early get, and make them part of this whole structure. And this is why very important aspect. So when you are planning your resources, the first question, the most important question you need to answer, are you a great operator? Would you be able to really run this business alone? And if answer is no, then you need to have somebody along with you. That's very important. And that's something which one should admit. And you should not be in the greed of holding everything together. Some people don't want 100% of that. And I feel that 100% of nothing has made no sense to me. Rather than you should have 1% of something more meaningful. So don't run after just holding everything with you. And if you feel that anything which can become meaningful, have the heart to share with others and bring them also in that business model so that your business can run very effectively. So that's a point number 7. Now it gets on to the 7th point. 7th point is 4 cycles of business. What are the 4 critical cycles of business? Now, this is where the business, when you start, it's in the foundation stage, stage number 1. And this is the most tricky stage. Tricky stage because you don't know that business so well. Almost every day, the business surprises you, gives you some kind of a nightmare that you are going out of control of this business. Now, that business is a time for learning, but not doing too many mistakes or not doing too much of expense. Keep it tight, keep it, very, very controlled. I see sometimes entrepreneurs start the day 1 of their business. They're bringing their families, their friends, and so many people are coming in and opening this business. And I find most of them, and I've gone to many inaugurations, many of these people have no relevance to their business. Just you want to tell the world that you've got this business and you spend so much of money in your openings. Makes no sense. I like these large companies. They quietly go and open up their businesses. Look at Starbucks. They don't even do a formal opening. They just go out, whoever employees are there, they take picture and they get started. Even a company like Starbucks don't make a situation like that. Why? Because they know that this location would take its own time. And many opportunities would come to celebrate, to go about telling that this is the best location we've got. But initial days, we'll have a lot of challenges. We'll have challenges of people, talent, supply chain, resources, vendors, everything would come. The first 3 months, you need to tell yourself that you are an employee of the business. You have to learn many tricks in the business. You will have to learn multiple roles in your business. So every single role in your business, you have to do it for a week to champion it, because then only you can transfer or overlook that. So if you've not done yourself that, I know a lot of people who start retail business, but they have never touched the point of sales. They cannot even make one check bill out of their own store. So they are so dependent. They are so dependent on others. And that's why they start doubting them, because they cannot do it themselves. So they are always in the worry of their employees taking things from them and so on and so forth, because they don't know the business well. So if you know your business well, you will never be worried about anybody taking you for a ride. So first 3 months are your foundation stage. And at that stage, every week, you need to choose one task of your business, which is new, and try to do all tasks yourself. All tasks. Once you've done all tasks, you know what it takes to do it, what is the turnaround time for that. You need to know everything about it. So that's the first stage. Stage 2 is getting the business stabilized. Stabilized means that your team is stabilized, your processes are stabilized, you have a lot of auditing structure in your business, and that's where the business gets extremely stable and your cash flows are stable. So this is the stage 2. Normally, this also takes about 3 months. Third stage is where you start growing. And this is a fun time. And that's the fun time where you start thinking about growth, getting more customers, getting to a level where you're progressing almost every week, numbers up. And that also is a very, very important stage. And this is a stage which entrepreneurs love. They always want to grow their businesses. They want to take it to the next level. You want to really be rewarded for what you've created. And the fourth stage is a sustaining stage where the business can run without you. Now, this is a very tricky thing. And this is where we train you. We have our coaching company also. We coaches company train you that how you can run your business without you. Now, that's a very important aspect, because if you started from foundation, you knew the business so well, you stabilized the business, you grew the business, and now the business can run without it. Because then you can release yourself from that business and start reproducing success. That's point number 8, that at that stage, you start multiplying your success. And this is where you have got the formula, you got the pattern, you know what to be done. And that's why when you look at people who are doing so many businesses, look at first generation Gautam Adani. While anybody can write anything on media, but I'm becoming a fan of this guy because he's done in such a short period so much. Even if he has backing of everybody, which a lot of time people talk in media, but to just do what he's done takes a lot of effort. So it's unless and until you are really somebody who's a great executor, somebody who has a full of ideas, somebody who can attract the best talent, it's not easy to do what he's done. A lot of people have resources, relationships, backing, but they cannot do what he's done because of the ability to have that pattern. Anytime he sets a business, he turns around the business very, very fast. And all successful entrepreneurs globally would have that pattern. They have a pattern to really make their success reproduce. So they can reproduce whatever they have achieved into another business. So you really have to ask yourself, if you have released yourself and you know exactly what needs to be done to make it successful, then you can get on to reproducing that success. Now, if you have done that, then your last 2 points, which are very important, is how do you build value? Now, this is very, very important. Entrepreneurs, especially small and medium-sized entrepreneurs, all their life, they are making income business. They're making money out of sales. They have profit and they take profit back, buy another house, another car, or any shopping abroad, or put some savings for their family to do it, but they don't create value. And these times, when we hear somebody sold the business for 100 million, 200 million, $1 billion, we look at ourselves and say, why are we not able to do? Because we never build value, especially family businesses. Family businesses want to really keep the business for their generations. They don't want to create value. It's very important these days. I tell every entrepreneur, when you're coming to me, you're coming with a date to start and you have a date to exit. If you don't have these two dates very clearly, you never do wealth creation. You have to create wealth creation. You need to be having these two dates very clear. But what it takes to build value, how a value is built in a business model. The business value is built on 3 points. One, predictability. Predictability, once your business has predictability, it knows what is direction it is going to go in next 4 or 5 years, then that business to me is building value. The point number 2 is sustainability. Sustainability means that nothing is going to change drastically in your business. Your margins would continue to rise. Your team would be intact. You have put some kind of a mechanism that the business is in control and sustainable. And the third is it has a very large growth trajectory. Total addressable market. So total addressable market is very big and you are on a growth trajectory. If you are able to put these 3 blocks in a right framework, your business has value. And if your business has value and you have these 3 things which are very well understood, then you go to 10th point, find an exit. Find an exit. It can be strategic. Strategic means somebody from the same industry wants to buy you out because you are an interesting asset. Or a financial exit, a financial investor who wants to take your business because it has a fantastic financial return today and in future. So at that stage, when you do a profitable exit, I feel that you build your own market price and you people start looking at you. People want to invest with you. A lot of times we ask ourselves, why is everybody who has been successful is getting more money? Because they have built their market value. People want to invest through them. So that's where the space is. So when you're doing an investment, you need to really be sure why you invest and which brand business opportunities you want to invest and what is your exit plan. Any good investment which has done well and created an event, I can tell you would build your sustainable future, and you will continue to attract a lot of investments, a lot of capital on you by a lot of people who don't have that decision making or capability. So if you want to be an entrepreneur and a very successful one, you need to really do this first journey right. And if you've done the first journey right, I can assure you that a lot of other future journeys, you will have a lot of people around you who would come and invest with you. So friends, this was my today's discussion. I hope I was able to give you some insight on being a successful entrepreneur. If you want to build a successful journey to be an entrepreneur, this is a journey you need to follow. If you want to see my other videos, go to gauravmarya.com. A lot of other videos I keep putting in on investment, scaling, and exit. Anything which I and my company can do. I have a program called Advantage. Advantage program is created to help entrepreneurs either invest, scale, or exit their businesses. Any idea you have which you feel can be scaled and you need our help, Franchise India help, we are happy to participate on that. So reach out to us. I'll also put our business hotline number. This is a business hotline number where you can send a WhatsApp 9819 97186. So this is a business hotline number where you can really send any information. If you want to reach out to me, I have also my direct email ID. It's very simple, gm@gauravmarya.com. I've put in a chat room. So that's the number. Let me see some. So I've put in a Mr. Yadav. It's on the chat box. You can note down. Mr. Rizvi, he wants to cater franchisee abroad. Yes, you can do. There are a lot of international opportunities. Somebody's in chocolate business. I want to know more about it. So somebody asked a question, service is important or quality? Both are. You cannot make either or that. Somebody says, I want to hire a hands-on manager to run the business, but you need to know what you can transfer the knowledge. Then only you can transfer the knowledge to manager or any staff you hire. And Mr. Parekh wants me to talk about a particular industry. So if you send me a mail, I will be happy to give you for laundry business. It's the best franchise. I have been investor into a laundry business, so I like the business because it can be, a great business, and a lot of shift is happening to laundry business. It's still very small in India, but very large industry. So friends, there are a lot of other questions, but I have to do another webinar, which starts in another 14 minutes. So I have to be on that. So thank you very much for your time, and reach out to Franchise India if you want to invest, scale, or exit. That's what we do for our professional journey. That's why we work with entrepreneurs like you, help them to make investment decision, help them to scale their idea, and finally make a profitable exit for them. So thank you very much. Thanks for joining in today's webinar. I hope I was able to give you some insight, and always remember to put that date, because that would be the biggest achievement of your entrepreneur journey when you start with this date. Rather, the first date when you want to be an entrepreneur, and second date when you want to do a profitable exit. So thank you very much, and enjoy your Sunday.